Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Foxridge Philately. It is Sunday, March the 9th, and this is episode 22. And it's been a couple of weeks, I guess, since I've done an episode, and I don't do them regularly, as you probably know. I just hit record if the mood kind of strikes me, and I've been doing something that might be kind of interesting to some other folks. Same as when I post on Instagram or Facebook too. It's just not a daily thing. It's just whenever I'm kind of in the mood to do so. And I might do that perhaps a little later today too. Yesterday I was at a stamp fair in New Brunswick in Moncton. I've been wanting to get up there for a while now just to check it out. So I drove up. I actually substitute taught on Friday. So I drove up after school and stayed overnight Friday night in Moncton and went to the fair on Saturday, see what it was like there and see if I could find anything, and just for a change of pace. And it was great fun. I also had a chance to meet up with Rob Lennox of That Dad Guy. So if you follow That Dad Guy on YouTube, you might see an interview of the two of us in a couple of weeks' time pop up on his channel. And if you don't follow That Dad Guy on YouTube, you may want to do so, because he has some pretty fun stuff there too. A lot of it has to do with stamps or postcards and post-crossing. Sometimes there's some other things in there as well. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. So I thought I'd just show you some of the items that I picked up. And then I'm going to spend some of today going through them and cataloging them and putting them in vario sheets or stock books, wherever they might need to go. See how far I get today. This is just one vario sheet, and I just got it for a few dollars just for fun. And I'll do that. I'll pick up something just because I like it. So what do you collect? I buy what I like, and because this is inexpensive and I thought it'd be good and fun to do, I picked up this one for Latvia as well as one for Lithuania. And I could see myself at some point getting into Latvia and Lithuania a little more. And you probably know that Latvia and Lithuania, they were at one point independent entities, and then they became part of the Soviet Union until the collapse of communism. And then in 1991, they began issuing their own stamps again. Of course, in between being part of the Soviet Union, they would have used the Soviet stamps. So you see some older issues here of Latvia and then some newer ones too. And yeah, the older ones will be fun to look at, but a couple of the newer ones actually kind of caught my eye. And this one here, I was thinking, well, you have some people kind of huddled around a fire and a couple of dates there that shows 1921, and I believe post-1921 is when the Soviets took over, and then to 1991 when Latvia became independent again. And a couple down here I'm going to investigate a little more too that look interesting to me. And do the same with Lithuania. I'll pop the Lithuania one here. You can see that. And again, older Lithuanian stamps at the top, and then newer issues down below. And some of them look like they'd be quite interesting to check out and learn a little bit more about. And I could see myself adding a couple of these to my stamp journal. And I've shown this before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I'll pull a Latvia stamp or two to add to my stamp journal. And haven't done anything in here since 23rd of February, so it's been 2.5 weeks or so. That was the most recent additions I had to my stamp journal, because I ordered these from the Ireland Post. Because I'm a big fan of Shane McGowan and Sinead O'Connor. Of course, they both passed away fairly recently, so I was happy to add those in there. And I had picked up some vario sheets, a few packages of these, and they're 6-sleeve sheets. These are really good if you use vario sheets. I find 6 sleeves are really good for commemorative stamps. Sometimes commemorative stamps will be a little large and would come out of the top of the vario sheet, but for the large part, most stamps will fit in there. And I'll use 7 or even 8 sleeve sheets if I have definitives, because they tend to be smaller and will fit in those smaller sizes. I did take up, when I went, a Russian album collection. It was an extra to me, and I wanted to find a home for it or do something with it. And there was a dealer up there who was willing to make a trade. So he took the Russia albums off of my hands. So they were hingeless albums with stamps in them. And then I went through and did the trade, and this is what I came up with from him. So I've added some to my Ireland collection, and then Norway and Romania. And I've been working on Romania a little more diligently in the last month or two. And I have Dabo albums for Ireland, and these were some that I needed to add in to the collection. So these will go in my Dabo albums for Ireland, some of the earlier ones, and just a couple. And I have 478, but I know I was missing 479, and that's a mid stamp. And I actually wasn't sure if I had these or not, but I thought, well, I'll throw those into the lot, and I'll just check if I do. And Sava Romania here, and I don't have a comprehensive list or what I need or don't need for Romania, because right now I'm just accumulating. So at some point I'll have to come up with a master list and get that organized a little bit better for Romania. So a number here of the earlier issues. And I know a few of these will be duplicates, but that's okay. We'll see what I can add. I think most of them are ones I can add. So a number of the Romanian ones here, just some of the earlier issues. And with Romania and Bulgaria and Hungary that I'm now adding to my collecting interests, I'm concentrating on 1950 and earlier. I think I've said that in a previous episode as well. Because it's the earlier stuff I'm interested in. As you get into the communist era with those countries, in Poland I find to be the same, and perhaps a couple other Eastern Bloc countries, they get a little carried away in their style of stamps and the number of stamps that they produce in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and they don't appeal to me as much. But occasionally there are some stamps through there that do, and I will add those to my collection just because I like them. But I'm not going to try to collect all the ones that are post-1950. And I went to 1950. I could have done just at the end of World War II, but I want to get the first few years of the communist era so I can see that transition in the collection into the communist era. And then Norway, and again, same thing as Romania or the Bulgaria, Hungary. Right now I'm accumulating, although I've got a lot, I know of Norway in never hinged in 102s, and a lot of used, more recently used, as well as the never hinged, in glassine envelopes. But I want to start to piece together a Norway collection. And yes, certainly some of these would be, a few of these would be duplicates, but I'm all right with that. Most of them I'm pretty sure will be new for me. And these will look familiar too, these styles here of the stamps. They're fairly common, but when there's a whole group of them together, I said, oh, that'll be nice to have. I'm hoping in the not too distant future to make Norway a trip for me. Those are nice looking. And I think I've said before, I seem to have an affinity for Scandinavian countries. A lot of countries in Europe that I collect, I'd love to visit as well. I just think Scandinavian countries do a lot of things right. And if you look at pretty much any of the world rankings based on any amount of data, consistently Scandinavian countries, pick the order: Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Finland, Denmark, throw Switzerland there too, even though it's not Scandinavian, will be at or near the top, certainly in the top 10. So I don't know why more of the rest of the world doesn't look at those countries to see what the heck they're doing that makes things go so well in their country, because I think we have a lot to learn from them. And then in these envelopes, and I'll just pull out a few from each so you get a sense of what it is that I picked up here. I picked these up from the same dealer that I got the Vario sheets and the Latvia and Lithuania from. I was able to add quite a bit to my Moncton collection. I wasn't looking for dates specifically this time. Yeah, they're in here. But I was trying to get the one of each, the Moncton Collecting 101, as I call it, thanks to Ken Ken's Stamp Collection. Is that what he calls his channel? I really enjoy his channel. So I'm trying to get essentially one of each, but not all the varieties and types of each. So these are the Monctons that I have added, including a number of regionals of the Irish region of the Monctons. So I'll go through and add these into my various sheets. They're going to fill in a lot of blank spaces, so I'm quite happy about that. I'll just slide these back in the envelope. Doesn't matter too much about the order of these right now because I'll be able to find fairly easily the order that they do go in. And there are just a couple of Iceland stamps that I didn't have that I'll add to my Iceland Davo albums as well, right there. I should get back into showing you some Davo albums again, I suppose, too. Yeah, and I'll keep that in mind for the future. And then in here, I know there's Bulgaria and Romania and Hungary in these last couple of envelopes. So again, I'll just take a sample out, try to take it from the back. These are Hungary, and he had various sheets full of stamps at 12 cents a piece. So nothing of any tremendous value, but lots of holes I can add or fill in, from early on in those three countries. Oops. So these would be, these are Bulgaria here. So some early-ish Bulgaria too, 12 cents a piece. And there's a whole stack of them in here. Just trying to carefully place those back in. And these are the Monctons. Sorry, I should have put these in. Nope, these aren't the Monctons. So this must be Hungary. Yeah. So get over here on the far side. Nope, sorry. These are Romania. So a number of these will be duplicates, I know, but at 12 cents a piece, it's not like it's breaking the bank or anything. So all of these envelopes together, minus the Monctons, but all the 12 cent a piece envelopes, I think I spent, I don't know, like $15 on them or something. So nothing too outlandish. And then some more recent Romania, but I think they'll still fit in my category of 1950 and earlier. And what are these ones over here? There you go. Sorry about that. And some more Romanians. And a number of these sets, essentially they're sets of definitives. And I like to have those kind of complete if possible. They look really nice when they're all put in together. So that's the extent of what I had picked up on the weekend. And I've got a fair bit of work to do. The envelope ones are going to take some time. The Monctons should go fairly smoothly and quickly. The others will take a little bit more time because he just had them in various sheets, not by, well, they were in order, catalog order, but the catalog numbers weren't there. So I was just grabbing them and putting them in here. So I'll have to sit down with the catalog and figure out catalog numbers and years and whatnot. So a little bit more work, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of it too, right? And just one more thing, perhaps I'll show you. The local stamp club had asked me to do a presentation on our trip that we went on in November, which was the Gems of Southeast Europe, a river cruise by AMA Waterways, which was incredible. So yeah, I'm going to do that and show them photos and a few postal samples and a few of the postcards that I picked up and whatnot. But I may have shown these, well, not these particular ones, I may have mentioned it before, that whenever I saw a post box on our travels, that I took photos of them too and posted them on social media. I just did a printout of these, so I'll show these to the stamp club, and I thought you might get kind of a kick out of them. Budapest and Pécs, Hungary, UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that was because it's getting close to Christmas time in November, that was the post box, the mailbox on the ship itself, the Alma Magna. And Novi Sad, Serbia, which was the home to Monica Seles, apparently. Monica Seles, of course, a champion tennis player back in the day. Belgrade and Vidin, Bulgaria. Vidin, Bulgaria. And another one in Vidin. You can see kind of the wire sticking out there. And Ruse, Bulgaria. That was kind of in a little craft shop just off of the ship. And Sinaia, Romania. Sinaia, Romania was where you'd find, just outside of the town, would be the Castle Pelish, which is a very well-known castle in the Carpathian Mountains that we toured. And some Sighisoara. Sighisoara is the birthplace of Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Tepes, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, as he's most commonly known. And you saw a lot of these sticking out of post boxes too, because it was coming up to election time in Romania. And I know that there was a runoff, and then there's a dispute, and I believe there's going to be a re-election. I'd have to check on the news on that again. And I like the post horn design on the post boxes. And I actually went into this because I wanted to mail some postcards directly from here, so that we canceled Sighisoara to a couple of friends back home. But I couldn't do it because, well, first off, the language is a little difficult. I speak no Romanian. The postal worker, who was very friendly and trying her best, spoke some broken English, and realized that we couldn't make it work because they did not take, I don't think they took euros, or they didn't take a credit card. There's a financial transaction issue that we had. I wasn't able to do that, unfortunately. And Braun, which is home to the Dracula Castle, the inspiration for Dracula's Castle, which we had toured. So that's a post box from there. And then again, post horn and Braun. And then we stayed 2 nights in Bucharest. And I could not get myself out of the photo. It was a nice sunny day, but I actually kind of like it. It lends a different look to that. Kind of cool to collect images of post boxes on travels too, and perhaps I'll do that going forward, and the next trip or two that I have, I'll see if I can find some unique post boxes. So that's kind of it for me for today. Good. Again, it was nice to see Rob, and That Dad Guy channel is available on YouTube, and he posts every day. I think it's every day, much more than I do. And he's had some nice content lately on going through some South American countries and telling about the history and geography based on his father's stamp collection. So you may be interested in checking that out. And I hope you're enjoying your hobby too. I'm going to be picking away at some of this afternoon. Take good care.